Hey guys, MightyGazelle here, and thank you for 5 fantastic years on YouTube. Exactly 5 years ago today, on January 22nd, 2016, I made my very first YouTube video ever. And, blink and you know it, 5 years go by, and it's now my 5th year anniversary of making YouTube videos. And I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been watching my videos for all that time. Even not even all that time, just like a fraction of that time. 5 years is a long time, and it kind of went by very fast. I remember a year and like however many months after I made my first YouTube video, I had like 80 subscribers. My channel didn't really take off until I was making Samurai Jack reaction videos and discussions and stuff like that, and then from there on out, it just, I still have a pretty small channel at just under 18,000, but to me, I never even expected like a fraction of that. I never expected much, to be honest with you. But regardless of all that, I'm so humbled, and I want to let all of you guys know that YouTube is such a fun aspect of my life, being able to make videos of things that I like and discuss with you guys and just talk about things, because no matter what's going on in my life, I can always come back here, sit down, record, and interact with you guys. And to me, that is the biggest blessing that I could honestly ever ask for. So thank you. I plan to continue as long as I am physically and mentally able. Which, yeah, should be a while, at least from this perspective at this point in time. But yeah, the sky's the limit, and I don't do YouTube for views or likes and all that stuff. I want my channel to grow as far as it possibly can, doing the things that I do the way that I do. That being said, there's plenty of things I can improve, but just know that these 5 years have been a blast, and thank you guys so much. Now, about a week or two ago, I made a video saying, hey, for the 5 years, why don't I do a Q&A? It's been a while. So, in that video, I asked you guys, ask me anything you want, and I'll pick 10 to 20 of the best questions and give you guys my genuine, honest answers just for fun, because it's been a long time since I've done an actual Q&A, and I thought, why not? 5 years, it's a good time to do it. So let's dive into some questions, shall we? First question we have is from AnMan144. Of your reaction series, which one surprised you the most? Which one did you enjoy the most? And which one was the oddball show that wasn't what you expected it to be? Congrats on 5 years. I'm glad I've joined you for the time I've been here. First of all, thank you, AnMan, for the question. I really appreciate it. Of all the shows that I've done reactions to, let's see. The one that surprised me the most, I would say, is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Again, I did that reaction series blind, and I didn't know what to expect going into it. But I knew everyone loved it. They praised the heck out of it, and that's one of the reasons I picked it as a reaction series. But to find that it was as amazing as it was, simply awesome. As for which one I enjoyed the most, I would say that overall, it's still My Hero Academia, but that's because that's a show that I'm the most attached to emotionally. I think that it's not the greatest anime per se that I've ever seen, but it's the one that I've connected most with the characters and actually genuinely care about their journey. And the fact that it's an ongoing series helps too, because you're more invested. But as a lot of you guys know, I do my manga reactions as well, so I'm very much spend a lot of my time with that series, and it means a lot to me. So I'd say My Hero Academia is my favorite reaction series thus far. Goosey Grower asks, what got you into My Hero Academia? Was there ever a point you considered dropping the series or felt it wasn't that great? No, there was never a moment where I thought I might drop the series because it's not great. How I got into it, really funny. I didn't, at the time, this was back in 2016, I think. Or was the first season 2017? I think it was 2016. I hadn't read any manga, and I was just kind of getting into anime for the first time. Really sitting down and watching various series, and I remember vividly sitting down in my bed, or laying down in my bed, I guess I should say. And I was on my phone. I was on Funimation, the service I had just subscribed to, as I was watching all this anime for the first time, like Cowboy Bebop and whatnot. And there was this new show. This was like the first week it dropped. This was season 1 of My Hero Academia. It had just dropped. I was like, you know what? Yeah, this one looks fun. So that's like superheroes and stuff like that. Immediately binge watched the entire first season. I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. I gotta watch season 2. There was no season 2 yet. And I was like, crap. So I waited and I did season 2, and that was when I first started doing reactions to My Hero Academia, by the way. Those videos are long gone. They got taken down by YouTube, and I didn't have the foresight to make backups. But it was basically set there that I would be... I just love the show so much that I would be making content for the show. And by content, I mean reactions and discussions and stuff. I don't actually make content for the show. But yeah, no, there was never a moment I thought I would drop it. It was always something that I truly loved. And yeah, after season 2 aired was when I started getting into the manga too. I read up all the manga, so because I don't want to get spoiled, you know. So that's kind of the story behind that. Tangy Sauce Gaming 123 asks what my job is. I intentionally don't reveal a lot of aspects about my life, and it's more of just like a privacy thing. It's not that like I'm definitely not embarrassed about what I do. I have a very solid job, and like, it's not like that, but it's more of a privacy thing. That's why I don't really share where I live, what I do, and stuff like that. It's not against anyone. That's just kind of my choice on the matter. So, yeah. But I appreciate that a lot of you guys respect that, because it's just like, you know. Happy 100 asks, as a huge Legend of Zelda fan, I noticed a Wind Waker statue in some of your previous videos in the background. What is your opinion on the Legend of Zelda franchise? By the way, keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Happy 100. My state of mind on the Zelda franchise is I love Zelda. Zelda is absolutely an awesome franchise. Wind Waker and Majora's Mask are kind of like 1A and 1B as to what my favorite Zelda game is. I personally am not a huge fan of Breath of the Wild. I think it's a very pretty game with some good elements, but it's not the Zelda that I love. I don't like how weapons break. I don't like how there's no true dedicated dungeons anymore. Like there are the Divine Beast and stuff, but it's not the same. You know, there's no water temple, fire temple, all that good stuff, you know? The sense of finding that item, that when you get that item, it feels like a big deal because it'll carry you forward in future dungeons. That's not there anymore because everything breaks, and it's like you just craft new, better versions of things. The open world is nice, but it also kind of detracts a little bit. There's like less iconic locations, like Clocktown. Like there's no moment or like area you just feel like you're connected to. But again, I can't speak too much. I didn't play a whole lot of Breath of the Wild. It just didn't hook me. I tried multiple times. It didn't hook me. And the fact that the game is getting a sequel, well, I'm not exactly thrilled about that because it'll probably be a little bit more of the same, if not a little bit redone. So I love Zelda, but the newest game, not a huge fan of. Jalen Glass asks, okay, my question is, can you react to all the JoJo series? JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, I assume you're referring to here. I'm not going to say a hard no, but it does not seem like a series that interests me greatly. First and foremost, it seems like there's a lot of different like sections of the series, because I guess each one focuses on like different people, from my understanding. I don't know anything about the story. The art style kind of throws me off a little bit. I am someone who loves when people try new art styles and stuff, but that art style is not that appealing to me. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not what I want to like watch a lot of, you know? But I know that series has a very vocal and dedicated fan base, so it would be wrong of me to just straight up say I would never give it a try. Maybe in the future I'll feel like giving it a shot and maybe doing a reaction series to it. But at the moment, no, I don't have any plans for it. IceWolf96 asks, my question, how did you get through the first phases of starting your YouTube channel? I'm trying to start one of my own, and I would love to hear what you have to say as one of your reasons I wanted to get started. Thank you so much. Well, IceWolf, my story of how I started YouTube, I think there's another question asking specifically how I got started, but in the sense of actually the channel stuff, just kind of go with the flow, you know? My first videos, I had a really crappy mic. It was like, I think it was the Snowball, like the Yeti Snowball. It's like a $30 like microphone. But here's the thing, it's not that bad of a mic. I think I was just really bad at recording, and at the time I still had very bad speech anxiety issues. So I was also very quiet on the mic. I didn't have confidence in myself when I was speaking. And you know, as for like the needs of your channel as you're starting out, don't feel discouraged if your videos don't get a lot of views and whatnot at first. Just make what you love, make what you're proud of. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I went a year and a half and I only had like 80 subscribers, and I just kept making videos. I had like 100 videos by the time I got to 1,000 or something like that. That's not an exact number, that's just an estimation. And then it wasn't until I started reacting to Samurai Jack and talking about it, because yeah, I love Samurai Jack and I want to talk about it, that people really started to find my channel. And I still have a small channel, so I don't know if I'm the best person to ask about this, because I consider myself still a very small channel. But if you take one piece of advice away from me, just do what you love, and you're not doing anything wrong if you do what you love. The needs of your channel come over time. Like, I realized I needed a better mic, so I upgraded to the Blue Yeti, which is the one I used for a long time before I got this one. Blue Yeti is a great mic, and I realized I needed a better camera, because the camera I had before was absolutely terrible. It was like a 720p camera, but it really wasn't. It was like from 2005 technology, and it was just, now I'm using this webcam that I have now, and even still I want to upgrade this camera. Like, as you continue to make things, you realize what you need to improve on, not only yourself, but your equipment, and it just goes from there. And best of luck to you, Icy Wolf. Tim Nutting asks, fingers crossed this question gets asked. Well, here you go, answering your question. Would you ever get a tattoo, and if so, of what? Quick answer is no. I don't foresee myself ever getting a tattoo, but if I did, I don't know. I guess it'd be kind of cool to either A, get something like My Hero related. I don't know what it would be. Maybe like Plus Ultra. For me, it'd be like Go Beyond, because it's Go Beyond Plus Ultra. I always like to Go Beyond better of that catchphrase, so maybe that. Or I might get like, I would never do this, but maybe my favorite Bible verse. I am a Christian, and I would probably go like Jeremiah 29:11. I think it's my favorite Bible verse. But yeah, I don't foresee myself ever getting a tattoo though. Alex Thompson has a few questions here. He has 4. I'm going to pick 2 of them. Since you're taking voice acting lessons, what kind of voice actor would you like to be? Would you like to work with anime, or just about anything that needs a voice? And do you think your voice is suited for specific roles? That's the thing. I don't know what my voice would be best suited for. I like to think I'd be a good, like, heroic character, you know? But yes, I would love to do anime. I'd love to do games. Currently, the courses I'm taking are for marketing, like advertisements and things like that. I feel like that would be the more steady line of work to start with, to start getting an income, and as well just kind of get experience and then make connections and stuff like that. But yeah, right after that, I'm going to start diving into animation and whatnot. Anime is the dream. I'd love to be in an anime. As to what character, I don't really care. I would give it my all, whatever the character would be. Yeah, just that's kind of that one. And he also asks, how are you? Doing well, I hope. I'm doing fantastic. How are you? Let me know down below. The Revenant asks, top 3 Deku moments as specific as possible. Well, number 1 would be when he rushes in to save Bakugo from the sludge monster. That was his beginning of sorts. 2 would be the moment he saved Todoroki from himself during the sports festival. And 3, I would share, but it would be technically a spoiler because it has not happened yet in the anime. But for those who read the manga, you might be able to guess what I'm referring to or hinting at. Lotrick asks, would you like to see a time skip from My Hero Academia? If yes, how long would you want it to be? No. I am avidly anti time skip. There's a time and a place, I think, for time skips. I think there are times when it does make sense. However, regarding My Hero Academia, I truly think that the heart of the show is watching these characters grow and progress. And I would hate to not see moments like of importance, even the small moments where they grow and become who they are. And I think a time skip would take away from that. Now, I wouldn't like hate it. I would just be disappointed if it happened. So personally, no. I hope we'd never get a time skip in My Hero Academia. And if we do, keep it to kind of how it's been, where sometimes you might get a couple months. Like I don't want anything like a year plus. I don't want that personally. Brooke Barnes asks, just wanted to know what got you started to do YouTube videos and how you got started. So funny enough, my origin story for YouTube is not that exciting. I was just sitting at home one day, really bored, and I thought, hey, why don't I make a YouTube video? At the time, I guess I can kind of go in depth on this. At the time, I was really struggling with anxiety related around public speaking, and just speaking in general in terms of like a large group. Not just general speaking. Like if I could talk to someone just perfectly fine, nothing like that. I was struggling with public speaking specifically. And I was thinking of ways that I could improve my situation because I was tired of it. And I thought, hey, a YouTube video would be interesting because it's not live. I can record it, and if anything were to go wrong, I can always edit it. So I can control the situation. It was a way for me to cope with what I was feeling, this sense of worried about being like messing up or stuttering or whatever the case may be. And I thought making videos would be a fun, healthy way to get past that. So there you go. I made a YouTube video. And from there, it just kind of, the process of recording, editing, uploading, I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. So boom, from there, just kind of continued. And as for how I got the name, people have asked this a lot, how I got the name MightyGazelle. This one's kind of a funny story. When I was making the channel name, I thought, look at all these people on YouTube. They have such interesting names like PewDiePie and all this. And I thought, if I'm going to do a name on YouTube, I want it to be kind of like something that's unique and something that kind of ties to my past in some sort of interesting, odd way. So I thought, what would be a fun, unique name from my past? And there was this place at a YMCA when I was a kid, and it was called the Y Zone. Now, the Y Zone, I can say this because I don't think he watches my videos, and it's been so many freaking years since then. His name was Josh. He would run the Y Zone, and he would bring in his own personal consoles. He had Super Nintendo, N64, NES. He would bring them all in for the kids to play. This Josh was awesome, And there was a game on the N64 called F-Zero X that I would play when my parents would go to the gym. They'd drop me and my sister off, and we'd just go in there, play games, talk to friends, and stuff like that. It was a great place. And F-Zero X, I remember that the racer I always used was MightyGazelle. He had the little red car, and he was the robot guy, and I would just always play the game in there. And no, it's not my favorite game of all time, and I didn't play it a lot, but I thought, hey, that's kind of a cool name, MightyGazelle. So yeah, I just I submitted for a guy on Fiverr to make a icon kind of related to him, MightyGazelle, and it's his image. I might change that in the future because it's not really relevant to me, but I'll keep the name. I just might change the picture. But yeah, that's kind of how I got the name and kind of rolled with it from there. And it kind of, and then the outro where I do like everyone have a mighty day. It just kind of fits with mighty, So yeah, not an amazing story, I know, but that's the story. Okay, next question is from Ayn Rose or Ayn Rose. I apologize if I'm butchering her name here. Have I ever done cosplay? Yes, I have. If I have the foresight to remember it, I want to include it here. I did cosplay for Knuckle Duster of My Hero Academia Vigilantes. I did it in 2019. I was going to do it in 2020, but obviously Anime Expo was not a thing in 2020 for obvious reasons. And have I ever cried during an anime? Yes, several times. I think for people who are avid anime watchers, if they say they've never cried during an anime, yeah, I'm calling BS on that one. So a few examples of when I've cried during an anime. I definitely cried at the end, and I'm going to be as generic as possible. I don't want to spoil stuff. I cried at the end of Assassination Classroom. I cried hard at the end of Samurai Champloo. That ending gets me. It hits me hard. There was a few times back when I was still watching Naruto where it got me. I never finished Naruto, but there was a few moments where it got me. My Hero, there's definitely been a few times. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, there was a specific scene I'll never forget I cried. It was when the doctor... this isn't like a huge spoiler. This is just kind of the middle of the story. Where the doctor, who's a grump, who's mean to everyone, his family comes and visits him. And he has that moment to himself where he's crying and he's thankful for just like this peaceful moment with his family. And it got to me, you know. I'm a sucker for sweet moments like that. So hopefully that answers your question. Max Lemillion asked, where are you from? What made you a Vikings fan? I'm not wearing the hat right now, but I've very often worn a Vikings hat. And that's because I was born in Minnesota. And that's what made me a Vikings fan. Trust me, Vikings fans, all of them are pretty much related to Minnesota in some case. Otherwise, they wouldn't choose to be a Vikings fan because it is a very aggravating fan base to be a part of. Let me say that much. Damon Dog, will I ever get back to Let's Plays? Yes, I will get back to Let's Plays. The issue being Let's Plays, unlike a reaction video, or a reaction video, I can get it done in 25 to 30 minutes. And it's just very easy. Watch the episode. It's organic. It's easy to do. Let's Plays, you know, I got to set up everything with my game console, my capture device, Elgato capture software, and a lot of times I'm sitting down for long gaming sessions to record them, and it's not always ideal. So in the future, I want to do a better way of organically tackling them, and I do have ideas for that, but yeah, so they will return. I don't know when, though, Damon. I know you're a big fan of those, so... Maria Paz Gonzalez Lesme asked a bunch of questions. I'm going to pick one of them. Aside from anime, what other topics are you interested to tackle on your channel? In the future, I would love to discuss more about Pixar and Disney, my thoughts on the new shows and movies that they release, because I grew up with the Disney Renaissance movies. I was born in the mid-90s, and I grew up with Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, all that good stuff. I was at the perfect age to enjoy all those because they were all basically out by the time I was born. So, yeah, I would love to talk about Disney. Disney is a huge part of the reason I like the medium of animation and stuff like that. Same goes for Pixar. Pixar, Toy Story 1 is probably my favorite childhood movie. I would love to talk about all their current movies and make discussions about all that stuff, but I haven't found a way that I want to approach that yet. But it is something that I would like to do in the future. It could be like video essays, just straight up discussions. I'd like to bring maybe friends on for some sort of podcast type of thing. So yeah. Last question that I'll be tackling is from Willen Russell Tatalong Maria. I apologize, by the way, if I have pronounced anyone's name wrong. What got you into anime? So funny enough, my first anime I ever watched was actually not My Hero or Cowboy Bebop or anything like that. Flashback to the mid-2000s. My first anime, if you don't count like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon stuff, because that's debatable whether that's cartoon or an anime. The first true anime that I ever watched was a show called Zatch Bell. Zatch Bell, I actually first read as a manga as a kid. This sounds crazy. My friend at the time in Kansas, my sister's friend too, her name's Chelsea. Shout out to Chelsea if you're still watching this. Me and my sister and her are still in touch. So She lended us copies of Zatch Bell, the manga, and we liked the manga. It was fun to read, and there was an anime out at the time. I think the anime was debuting early to mid 2000s or whatever. Not the greatest like anime ever. The manga's great, but the anime was had that very 2000s anime art style, so it wasn't like amazing. But that was the first anime that I ever watched. And as years go by, you have things like Avatar: The Last Airbender, which, come on, Avatar: The Last Airbender is an anime. People might just call it a cartoon, but it's an anime. It's anime inspired. So that enjoyment of the medium always kept alive until obviously I started getting back into it as I got older with shows like Cowboy Bebop and I was like, man, this stuff's awesome. And I just kind of went from there. So, and that'll about do it for all the questions. I apologize if I was not able to answer all of them. There was a lot of questions, but I answered the ones that I felt like I could give the best answers to. So yeah, thank you again for 5 wonderful years, and here is to another 5 fantastic years with all of you, and whoever else will join the channel along the way. Until next time, this has been MightyGazelle, hoping you all have a mighty day. See you guys, and thank you so much.